Have you been to Russia?
Oh yeah, sure, a couple times, yeah. I've been to Moscow, St. Petersburg.
I'm from Moscow.
I've been to Siberia.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've done more than I have.
Yeah, I was doing my UFO research out there.
What?
What was the name of the place that was flattened for?
Tunguska.
Tunguska.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Tunguska.
correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I know all about you guys. I know a lot about you guys.
Jim, when I was a kid, I was playing Sonic on the Sega console, and I was watching The Mask a lot. I thought it was the best comedy ever, and seeing those two
Thank you.
worlds collide is it's very exciting. I wonder when you work on...
So is this your alter ego?
What do you mean?
Is this your alter ego, your mask?
My mask?
Or are you being just
yeah,
you?
just that little camel. No, it doesn't. I just wonder when you work on the character, how do you make the character a Jim Carrey character?
Well, that's not hard. I just show up for that. But to me, I start. The characters are like lightning. You know, they look all kinds of crazy and fancy, and they're really marvelous to watch. But they appear to come out of a cloud, but they really start in the earth. And the character you have to understand in order for you to grow all those wonderful attributes. You know, so I start with a character like this. He's a combination of this genius and total neglect. You know, abandonment. You know, and lovelessness. So that combination is a fantastic comedic, it's like somebody opening up the comedy corral and letting you run. You know, it's wonderful.
I'm just interested to see that he's a villain, but he's very funny to watch.
Yeah.
How do you marry the two sort of aspects?
Well, you know, I gotta say it's really important, especially you're doing it for kids. I want the adults to have a good time. I want the kids to have a good time, but you know, you could be really scary to kids if you didn't have a smile in your heart when you're doing it, you know. The intention is what matters, and they smell that right out of the gate. They know when a friendly intention is there, you know. So just as in The Grinch, you know, I come at it with, I'm screaming and yelling and going off about everything, but I have a smile in my heart, so they know I'm kidding.
Sonic was a CGI character, so what did you
It's
act
hard.
against?
It's very, very difficult. It's like it's a new form of pantomime. You know, I think all these superhero movies, the Robert Downey Jr.'s of the world, get it. You know, they deserve some credit for creating a universe. I did A Christmas Carol with Bob Zemeckis, and I played Scrooge, and I had the luck of working with the master of acting, Gary Oldman. And I'm this close to him, and we're creating this Dickensian England. And meantime, we have these spots all over our faces and these prongs with cameras looking back at us.
Does it distract you?
Oh my God, it's so distracting. It's insane. You really have to be masterful in your attention and your focus in order to stay in the moment, in the feeling. Yeah.
And Sonic got a massive redesign after all the comments on the social media. But I wonder, did you have to go through the same process of designing the look for the character of Robotnik?
Well, I wanted it to be authentic, but it has to come from someplace. You know, there has to be a evolution of the characters, so you want to see kind of where he comes from a little bit. I love the approach we made, which was this kind of dark Neo-esque kind of character, but the warped version, the evil version, and then the flight suit happens, and you start to see a glimpse of the Robotnik you know and love, and the mustache goes a little crazy, and you know, who knows what happens when he starts experimenting with the mushrooms.
Ooh, yes. You'd be great in that one,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? And do you think having social media and feedback from fans is important? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's case by case. I think it's, in this case, it really benefited us, you know, because I had director Jeff Fowler, who was completely open, sweetest guy in the world, and wonderfully creative. And when he heard the fans, you know, wanted something different, he didn't think twice. He went, this is their character. And we agreed. You know, I had my own misgivings about it, so it was we were in total agreement when it happened. So in that case, it was completely helpful, and I think the design turned out beautiful.
Yeah.
And
The whole movie turned
so
out beautiful.
everybody feels empowered by the situation, which is great. But you know, obviously, I'm not going to be like crowdsourcing, direction from people. But you know, everything should be considered. That's all.
Wonderful.
I think
And it
that's
was a
all
great
people
result,
want.
yeah, after
All
all.
people want is
Yeah.
to be considered.
True. Thanks
Yeah.
so much for the interview.
Thanks a lot.
Such a pleasure.
Very nice to talk to you.